Hello, Star Wars fans. The YouTube channel All Time Movies has posted 5 Star Wars plot holes. We're going to take a look at all 5 and tell you why they're not plot holes and can easily be explained. So let's start with number 5.
Number 5. Jedi skills. So, apart from the fact that the Jedi love Tatooine's fashion sense, somehow, in The Empire Strikes Back, Luke is able to be all Jedi-like after just a few days, even a few hours of training with Yoda.
Luke's training with Yoda lasted more than a few days. Most likely it took months. We do know that during his training the Falcon flies from Hoth to Bespin in sublight speed. It did not go into hyperspace as the hyperdrive was broken. It's also very clear that Luke is getting some basic Jedi skills and is not fully, or even close to being, a trained Jedi when he leaves to rescue his friends.
Number 4. Who done what? In Episode 2, Obi-Wan finds out that Jedi Master Sifo Dyas placed an order for buttloads of clone troopers on behalf of the Republic, but without telling the Jedi.
Please tell your master, Sifo Dyas, that his order will be met on time.
I'm sorry, Master.
We also find out that someone deleted information from the Jedi archives, to hide the clone army.
The data must have been erased.
Alright, so who is this guy? And why did he order all these clones? And why did he do it so secretly? Do the films ever bother to answer this?
Around the time of the battle on Naboo, 10 years before AOTC, the Jedi Master Sifo Dyas contacted the Kaminoans to secretly build a clone army, an idea that the other Jedi on the High Council felt was too extreme. We can pretty much assume that being a Jedi, Sifo Dyas had access to the Jedi archives and could remove the information. However, Count Dooku, as a Jedi at the time, could have erased the archives. Being that Order 66 was placed into the clone army, we can also assume Sifo Dyas was working with Count Dooku and maybe even Darth Sidious. The film doesn't go into the details, but you can get the idea of all this by watching the prequels.
Number 3. Forgettable droids.
I am C-3PO, Human Cyborg Relations, and this is my counterpart, R2-D2.
Hello.
I don't know about you, but I find a gold-plated camp protocol droid who chants his name to everyone he meets pretty hard to forget. That's clearly not a problem for Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. And I'm sure even Obi-Wan would remember R2-D2 after spending nearly 10 years together.
It does belong to you.
Don't seem to remember ever owning a droid.
C-3PO. If you recall, 3PO was a different color, more of a gray, and we have seen throughout the galaxy there are many protocol droids that have the same look as 3PO. With that many droids, it's not unlikely that the same name will come up for the same droid. This is also a droid Owen hadn't seen or even thought of for over 20 years. With his line of work, he has seen many of droids. Ben tells Luke he doesn't remember ever owning a droid and he never did own R2. Also, Ben couldn't just tell Luke, "Oh, this is my old buddy R2-D2. He was your daddy's droid." Ben, at this time, didn't want Luke to ask lots of questions about his father. It was best to just play dumb and see why R2 was there before spilling all the beans. Remember, Ben did not want Luke to even know Vader was his father.
It was true, from a certain point of view.
Number 2. The Death Star's convenient holes.
An analysis of the plans provided by Princess Leia has demonstrated a weakness.
Alright, look, it just doesn't make any sense, okay? If you're capable of building a moon-sized space station that can blow up planets, so that you could use it to scare the galaxy into being obedient, why would you ever let such a huge flaw slip into its design?
This could have easily have just been a flaw made by the overconfident Empire. Until we see Rogue One, we can't really say for sure. However, we shouldn't call this a plot hole. There are many reasons why this could have been designed into the Death Star. 1. A backup plan if somehow the rebels overtook the Death Star. 2. The designer could have added this as a way for the rebels to destroy it. 3. As stated above, overconfidence or just a flaw in the design. As for the Death Star 2, it is in the middle of being constructed. The opening has not been closed yet. It's like saying, why can I walk into a jail cell when that jail is still being built?
Number 1. Darth Vader is useless.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
So he can't even find his son, even though Luke's living with his stepbrother on his home planet and using his own surname. He also can't get Leia to tell him anything, even with the scary interrogation droid and the destruction of her entire planet. He seems to just given up looking for Obi-Wan, and Yoda too for that matter.
Darth Vader doesn't go looking for Luke because he doesn't know he has any children. He believes they died at the time Padme passed away. He doesn't go looking for someone he doesn't know even existed. It's not until Luke destroys the Death Star that Vader finds out who Luke is. As for Leia, she is strong with the Force. She is a Skywalker after all. She isn't going to betray her people due to some threats and a needle. Looking for Obi-Wan and Yoda? Why would he? He has moved on with his life since becoming Darth Vader 20 years before ANH. He is busy trying to take over the galaxy and force-choking people. He doesn't see them as a threat, so he has no reason to waste time or manpower on two old husbands.
That's it. 5 easy plot holes explained. Thank you for watching. If you think you have any Star Wars plot holes, leave them in the comments below. And as always, please subscribe to our channel.